Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lanyelle Kuzar and I'm the owner of Yes Event Decor and More. So this was a busy weekend for me. This past weekend, I decorated for a bridal shower, and then it also just happened to be my birthday weekend. So for my birthday, the one thing that I prayed for was for God to bless me with an event. And because he's so good, he blessed me with a bridal shower that I can decorate. So this was a different event for me. I actually decorated in a store in a mall, okay? And that was a learning experience all in itself. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm gonna share some lessons learned with you in case you're gonna be decorating an event or having an event in a mall, all right? Now, before we get into the setup, I must warn you guys, I actually had family come into town for my birthday. And so I asked them to help me set up the event because I'm not used to having so much help. I'm not used to having extra people around to help me set up events. So you will see them in and out of the video. And because they're not used to being in front of a camera, there were times where they were standing in front of the camera, in front of the decorations. And I would have to say to them, hey, move over. You're blocking the view. So I just wanted to give you that heads up before we get into this. All right, so let's get started. that was my event, and those were the decorations. My client really loved the decorations. She sent me a text message telling me that she really enjoyed everything. So I made sure that I sent her an email so that she can write me a review. I was so nervous about those decorations because initially when the client reached out to me, she was just looking for a balloon backdrop and some table decorations. And so we had agreed upon colors for those decorations. It was gonna be blush and white sand and have very neutral colors in it. But then later on in the week, the client sent me an email and she wanted to add on another backdrop. And so she was asking me if she can add on a backdrop in the throne chair and that carpet. And I knew that I only had a throne chair in white and silver. So in my head, I was thinking, how in the world am I gonna tie in that white and silver throne chair to the rest of the theme, right? To the rest of the decorations, because I didn't want it to clash with everything else that I had already ordered, right? So that's the reason why I tried to incorporate white. I tried to brighten up the decorations so that it would blend in with the throne chair. Now, let's talk about the mall, because that was a new experience for me. Now, when you're setting up in a mall, they have certain entrances where you can set up through, okay? And because I was communicating with the client and not necessarily communicating with the event venue, my client didn't necessarily know where the loading docks were, right? Where the deliveries were. She was giving me directions to park across the street from the mall in a parking garage. And with a throne chair, that definitely was not gonna work for me. I needed a place where I could load and unload and get that throne chair directly to the store. So it took a lot of time. It took about an hour for me to work with security, figure out how I'm gonna unload my stuff, figure out a back way to get to the store, because they didn't want us walking through the mall. They wanted us to go through a back entrance and use a freight elevator to unload the decorations and get them directly to the store. So this took time. I am so grateful that my family was there, because there's no way that I would have been able to set up that event in the amount of time that the client was giving me, because it took us over an hour just to unload the decorations and get them up to the store. So when you are setting up at a mall, make sure that you're communicating directly with the venue and then also with the security officers at the mall, so that you can let them know you have an event, you're gonna be bringing a truck. You need to know where the deliveries are, where you can park your truck, and how you can unload your decorations and get them to the store. Because it's definitely a different process than if you're setting up at an event venue or at a park or a community center. So you wanna work with security, you wanna work with the event venue, and you wanna make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time to unload the decorations. We had to walk through a back hallway. It was a long back hallway. I wish I would have recorded it for you guys. And then we had to go upstairs to the 3rd floor in a freight elevator. And then we had to walk through a back entrance to get into the place where we were decorating. So it took a lot of time. And that is something that I definitely wish I would have coordinated beforehand. Another thing that I learned from this event is that I will be purchasing some dollies, okay, to make it easier to carry my decorations. We were stuck carrying boxes and throne chairs and the backdrop stand, and we had to hold everything while we were walking down these long hallways and going up the freight elevator and then walking through the back of the store, and that stuff was heavy. My family was complaining. They were saying the next day, oh, my back is hurting. Oh, we don't see how you do this. Oh my gosh, I can never do the job that you do. So now I know that I definitely need to purchase some dollies just in case I have to set up at a mall, or if I have to set up in a place where I have to carry the decorations a long way. I'll put the links for my materials in the description of this video. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you in my next video.